Most beginner sim racers are losing seconds without realizing it. And today in this video, I'm going to show you from my experience and from other people's experience on what to focus on if you're a beginner. For some of you sim racers, you may think that braking later is faster, but in reality, it's just more aggressive, and you could either completely total your exit on the corner, miss the apex, or just miss the corner completely. If you brake just a little early and focused on being smooth on throttle and brake, trail braking, you can be earlier on the throttle and gaining more speed on the exit. Another mistake that sim racers typically make is going or turning into the inside way too early. Back when I first started sim racing, I used to turn in very early, thinking that if I didn't, I would end up going wide. But in reality, if you turn in too early, you're gonna waste way too much momentum and ruining your lap times. A better way to think of it, how I thought of it when I was first learning, is to turn in later for a better apex, because when you turn in later, you hit the apex later, and that sets you up for early throttle, and if there's a straight, you get more speed. When I started being patient with the car rather than fighting it, telling it what to do, you start to flow through corners and actually maneuver through them good. If you're constantly fighting the car and slipping and making recorrections, that's overdriving. This can cause a lot of mistakes, and a lot of beginner sim racers do it when they push a little too hard and they end up overdriving. Now, when I became a sim racer, I made this mistake a lot, and I thought that this would make me faster, but in reality it just makes you even slower. It makes a higher chance of mistakes. When I started focusing on smooth turning, smooth throttle, and smooth brake, my time went all the way down and started coming down lower. If it feels chaotic, then it's probably slow. A lot of beginners only care about one fast or hot lap, and then the next thing you know, they'll just run maybe 9, 10, or even more messy laps that are nothing compared to that fast lap and think they're improving. But the one thing they need is consistency. It's very important, probably the most important thing about motorsport racing. If you want to become good, you're gonna need consistency. What some people think is that consistency will be distracting you from speed, but in my personal experience, when you focus on consistency, the skill and the speed comes naturally. So when you're too busy focusing on whether if you're braking late enough or you're turning way earlier than you need to, you're gonna end up losing a lot of time. But when you're focusing on the important stuff that you need to learn for a fast lap, those fast laps end up coming naturally rather than you forcing it. Now the final, not important, but it does help a lot, is not reviewing replays. Replays, your replays or other players' replays, because when you review your replays, it could tell you a lot. It could tell you whether if you're using all the track, where is the track limits, or where to brake. A lot of these can help, and reviewing other people's driving is probably the best, because if there's a track you want to end up good, like Spa, Nürburgring, or basically any track, you could learn a lot from other people. Like, even if it's in real life, and you could still learn a lot. Reviewing is really important. I think that's important because it helps me a lot. It even, everything it helps, basically. It helps with braking, steering, and turning. If you're a beginner, focus on these 5 mistakes that a lot of beginner sim racers make, or at least learn from these, instead of worrying about advanced trail braking techniques or advanced setup. So see you guys on the next one.